Welcome back to Craftsman David. Today I'm taking you on a field trip to Mill Creek near Mackinac City, Michigan. This is a replica of a sawmill that was built along this creek to serve the lumber needs of the growing Mackinac Island. Without a sawmill, boards had to be cut by hand. Two-man saws were the workhorse of the building industry. They were useful for cutting down the trees and then for sawing the log into boards. Here I am trying my hand at it and earning my lunch. It was more common for sawing crews to dig a pit and then just roll the log overhead rather than finding a way to lift the log onto tall sawhorses as shown here. This is why the man on the bottom is called the pitman, and the man on top was the topsawyer. A skilled pair could cut only one 20-foot-long board per hour. I thought it was funny that the topsawyer was actually paid more than the pitman because he was responsible for keeping the board straight, which meant that he was skilled labor. The original sawmill was built in the late 1700s. At this time, steam engines were just being invented over in Europe, so the only major power source available to industry, aside from human effort or perhaps horses, was falling water. So recognizing the need for a sawmill in the area, here it is. The river was dammed up, creating a small lake and about 10 foot of waterfall, or head as engineers would call it, available for power. Water from the dam is channeled over to the mill by means of a wooden trough. I noted that they didn't seem to particularly care if a little water spilled out. Plenty more, right? This water then filled a small wooden tank with the main paddle wheel just below it. When the operator lifts the trapdoor, the water flies out and it spins the wheel at about 120 RPMs, which comes to just about 25 horsepower. Up in the Sawmill Room, the main paddle wheel reciprocates a blade very similar to that two-man saw. Later mills would use a more efficient circular saw and eventually the thin curved band saw that we know today. And if you think that sawmill operator is going to have to push the log through the blade, think again. They solved that problem by means of a ratchet mechanism also powered by water. The runners of the carriage work with the shaft in the floor like a giant rack and pinion gear which moves the log forward with each cutting stroke.
Turn the wheel. Close up the gate, turn off the water, stop the action.
This sawmill can cut a 20-foot-long board in about 10 minutes. When it's time to reverse, the operator tilts the reversing pinion against the wooden teeth on the side of the carriage gear, kind of like a medieval transmission, and he opens up the other trapdoor to spin a separate reversing water wheel. Notice how much faster the reversing wheel moves the carriage. What took 10 minutes to cut in forward takes under 30 seconds in reverse. And here's a look at reversing from the outside. Unlike the main paddle wheel, the design of this wheel is for optimizing speed at the cost of torque. It works more like a modern turbine where the fluid flows axially to the blade. I think we all kind of take it for granted in this day and age that we can buy lumber that is sawn perfectly straight and even planed on all four sides. An ambitious homeowner can even purchase their own bandsaw sawmill from Harbor Freight for only about $2,000. What a difference from the olden days. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. See you next time.